Morning.
So Edward Murrow, this from 1950s and 60s, I think. He did some research on public speaking, and here's what he said: experts knows enough about getting scared at speeches. The only difference between pros and novices is that pros have trained the butterflies to dance on their own tune, and the novices haven't. With that, I want to share with you a list of the top human phobias that we all keep hearing about. And if you can see it, here it is. So as you can see, speaking before a group, or public speaking, as we all have known, is number one. Then you have heights, insects, financial deep water, and death actually comes at number 7. And then there are more after that. Number 7. Think about it. Until I see someone mid-speech, standing at lectern, suddenly running for his life and jumping out of that window, I don't really think that public speaking is as scary as death. I mean, can you believe that people will actually make you believe that you can jump off the cliff or even take a cyanide pill instead of thinking, giving a short speech like this? I don't think so. But if you look at the list though, you can see that there are things like, heights, deep water, sickness, flying. These are the kind of things that will, kind of lead to you to death. And there's obviously fear of that death. But, if you add that all up, death easily becomes your number one fear, right? Not public speaking. And that's what I know from my 6 speeches so far. This is a classic case of where we should really question where, and what source of this kind of information that we hear all the time. And I look back and found out that this comes from a book called The Book of List, which was published in 1977. But I think it is more popularized by the sources or people, I think, who, benefit from, selling their books or, providing their services and trying, in a way that trying to make your public speaking as scary as possible. So we know that public speaking is not the most scary fear that you have in your life, but it is still kind of, make you anxious and make you, nervous. And so, we wonder what is it that makes this fear, right? And I want to show you this book, Brain Rules. It's a great read on how our brain functions. This will tell you that there are 4 things in our life that your brain thinks are the scariest for your survival as a human being. Number 1, standing alone like this. Number 2, standing alone in an open area and no place to hide. Number 3, without your weapon. And number 4 is a large set of creatures staring back at you. In all the human beings' history, when these things happen, you are either being attacked or you are being eaten alive, right? Mm-hmm. So your ancient brain, this old brain, it developed this system to cope with the situation, and that is, that raises this anxiety and fear in you. So to kind of cope with that, you get the nervousness and you get the, heavy breathing and pumps and all of that. And to avoid that, you want to kind of beat that system. But if you have to note that this ancient brain and this response system that you have, it's older than the history of public speaking, or speaking at all, right? So what you want to do is you cannot beat that system. You just can't. And the years of research shows you that you cannot avoid the nervousness, you cannot avoid the fear that you get from this. And it's true for me, beginner, it's true for experts, everyone. Mark Twain, he said this once. By the way, Mark Twain made most of his living by public speaking and not writing. So he said, there are two kinds of speakers in this world. Those that are nervous and those that are liars. Elvis Presley had said this, Dottie, that every time I get on stage, I am nervous. J.F. Kennedy, all the prominent personalities, they have acknowledge this. So what is it that we can do? There's another book that I want to share. This is a bestseller on Amazon for years on how to deal with fear. And the book also tells you the same thing, is that every time you try to do something new, you will feel the fear. The only way to cope with it is to do it anyway. Thank you.